In the 90s, we started reading at Beans and Leaves Coffee House.
Yeah! Queen Muse!
Queen Muse, the yeasty poet. And a couple of folks lived behind there, and they started coming to the reading. And one of them was King Daddy, and King Daddy has come a long way, man. And we're very proud to have him with us. So let me introduce to you King Daddy.
King Daddy. King Daddy.
Okay, we're going with King Daddy.
Tanya told the preacher that the teacher didn't touch her.
That's the whole poem right there.
The preacher told the teacher that he simply couldn't reach her.
We've been writing about those in Riverside County lately.
This is called Right in the Heart. I checked out a book of poems from Covina Library, a volume of Bukowski's posthumously published work in a trade paperback edition. When I got home, I noticed someone had gotten stabby with it. 4 knife wounds marred its glossy cover. The shallowest, I think of it as the first, penetrated only a few pages deep to the title page. The flash of lightning behind the mountain. A more substantial wound made it to page 47, marking a poem about a horse dying ugly on a racetrack beneath the smog-choked San Gabriels. Another stopped at page 63, highlighting the line, "Reached into my mouth and plucked rotten teeth." The deepest gash, a shanking, plunged all the way to page 121, leaving just the slightest dimple right in the heart of the middle letter of the word whore.
You're getting sensitive on us.
Yeah. Prairie Dream. Everything is askew. Everyone is the wrong age. I'm not lonely. My mouth is not broken. The sky is cloudless and vast. The horizons are impossible. In the whitest, cleanest sunlight, Mom and Dad hold hands. Isn't it pretty, Mama? They move across a broad plain of sedge and scrub. It seems to go on forever. It won't. Papa walks out ahead, dipping snuff and humming. My unborn grandson rides on his shoulders. He is sure-footed, strides with gentle purpose, carries a school marm's pointer, aims it at things, declaims, ever teaching. I follow at a distance, fall farther and farther behind, stopping to name every bird I flush. Cock pheasant, black phoebe, meadowlark.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Fold. Call my family. Tell them I'm lost on the sidewalk. No, it's not okay. Squint to see it. On a scarred white table, in a dusty mason jar, my last easy breath. She unscrewed the lid, pulled up my shirt, fingernails painted milk white. She soft-scratched my back, spelled out Wilco lyrics until I waved a white flag. Told me to unclench. Nobody wanted to be there. Nobody wanted to leave. I was driving 6 white horses. She was Spasm and Honey, said burn down the house. Pulled me into the fold. She pulled me into the fold, said burn down the house. She was Spasm and Honey. I was driving 6 white horses. Nobody wanted to leave. Nobody wanted to be there. She told me to unclench until I waved a white flag. spelled out Wilco lyrics. She soft scratched my back, fingernails painted milk white, pulled up my shirt. She unscrewed the lid, my last easy breath, in a dusty mason jar on a scarred white table. Squint to see it. No, it's not okay. On the sidewalk. Tell them I'm lost. Call my family. This is a Pomona poem. Manicure. After paying $1,500 cash in advance and waiting 6 weeks for an appointment with Lucille herself, she arrived at Lucille's Institute of Nailology on Gary Avenue in Pomona with a great sense of anticipation. Leaving 7 hours later, she surveyed Lucille's handiwork. Her left pinky fingernail was painted a rich, pearlescent blue with shimmering silver threads near the borders. Her left ring fingernail was all saturated primary colors, a simple American flag set against a yellow background. If she put her ear very close, she could hear Woody Guthrie singing a faint rendition of This Land Is Your Land. Her left middle fingernail had received only a buff and clear coat. Near the tip, a hole was drilled, and from it dangled a tiny charm, cast in pewter, that depicted Mario Savio on the steps of Sproul Hall in December 1964, exhorting the Berkeleyites to action. He is frozen in the moment just before he says, "You've got to put your bodies upon the gears, the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop." Her left index fingernail contained the entire text of Beowulf, applied with a brush whose single bristle was crafted from one of Lucille's own eyelashes. Her left thumbnail had, carved into it, an impression of Jonathan Livingston Seagull. In the sunlight, the crystalline precision and economy of line took her breath away. Her right thumbnail appeared unadorned, but for a smudge of what could have been storm clouds near the tip. As she studied it, Jonathan flapped his wings twice and flew over from her left thumb as heavy raindrops began to fall. Her right index fingernail had, atop a lurid pink base coat, a head and shoulders portrait of Memphis bluesman Furry Lewis with a text balloon above his head reading, "The best place to pick up women is the canned mackerel section at the Piggly Wiggly." Her right middle fingernail was removed entirely and replaced with a 1976 Roosevelt dime firmly affixed with surgical superglue. Her right ring fingernail had a photorealistic representation of Desperation Squad lead singer Mr. P, wearing only a beat-down panda head. Mr. P, wearing only beat-down running shoes, a graying athletic supporter, and a shabby panda head. It was an amazing likeness. He appeared completely unmoored. As she applied the finishing touches, Lucille had said, "Honey, this man is a hometown hero.
Yeah.
Don't look askance."
Yeah.
Her right pinky fingernail was painted red.
Seven more.
I'll do one more, but it's like 7
Seven.
minutes. It's like 7 minutes long, so I don't know.
It's like 7 poems.
What time is it? Time for a 7-page
Oh,
call.
but what time is it?
It's
Quarter to
quarter to 4.
Oh, we got time.
Go.
I'll
King
be
Diamond.
fine in a minute. Maybe all this shouldn't bother me like it does, but it does. Neuroscience has shown us that neither colors nor sounds exist outside of our brains. Furthermore, I've come to understand that all matter is merely energy, condensed to a slow vibration, that we're made up of stardust and literally contain the universe, that our bodies are miraculous machines of phenomenal complexity, made up of multiple trillions of molecules, each vibrating with its own intelligence. And don't you ever wonder if that light at the end of the tunnel as we're dying thing is nothing more than us being pushed through another birth canal? I'll be fine in a minute. I spend all my writing sessions confessing transgressions and striking them out. I try to take seriously acts of language. Try to write myself right. Not because I want to say something, but because I have something to say. I don't make friends with my writing. It's slightly out of my control. You, the reader, play no part here. This is a private matter. There are poems in me that paper can't handle. Polished gems of observation, shining and diamond hard, but I kill them in their cribs, slash precise lies into my notebooks, foregoing all truth and beauty, and give voice to monsters. I'll be fine in a minute. Shed the night, grind the coffee, get behind the mule. I've done 30 years at the same job, and I'm not sure if I can do 30 more days. When my shift is over, I take off my shoes in the parking lot and clap them together like chalk erasers so I don't carry one speck of that mess home with me. I think it's time for a career change. I'm studying to be a deacon in the church of the disembodied spirit of Kurt Cobain. It's a flickering torch, but I'm carrying it. If that doesn't pan out, I've procured an old felt hat and a dented tin cup and crafted a cardboard sign reading, "My mother loved me, but now she's gone. I'll be fine in a minute." Sometimes I feel like a man trapped in a man's body. Beneath this well-rendered surface beats a heart brilliant with confusion. I have ironclad scruples and a willingness to violate them. My heart engages in acts that my head stands against. Clearly, the heart is wild and yearns to be free. That's why our ribs are cages. The heart is not a metaphor. No, wait. The heart is a metaphor. My heart is a brightly fletched arrow trembling in its rest as the tension of the bowstring grows too great to bear. No, my heart is a smoky gray village with a cackling raven chained to a post in the main square. No, yes, my heart is a cackling raven. I'll be fine in a minute. Oh, the cold weight of the crown. I don't know if it's Tuesday or Shreveport. Everyone answers my texts with WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? I've been taking the wrong dreams to bed with me at night. The fan in my room sounds like someone crying, so I turn up the radio, and the next 3 songs make me cry. I search all 1,200 square feet of the house for my wife and find her at the kitchen table, crying, counting the beads on her abacus of disappointment. She tells me that we've forsworn our dreams. Sometimes I don't know I'm crying until I notice my terrier bitch dancing at my heels. What am I crying about? I have a library and a garden. I'll be fine in a minute. I've been trying to be where I am, to be stubbornly interested in the present moment, not to reconstruct what has just happened. I've tried sitting with mindfulness, quietly still and knowing my breath, but I can't seem to hold on to my here-nowness. I've made some strides lately. For whole minutes at a time, I've been able to maintain the insight of non-self and loving kindness. I've been making demo tapes of the new me, but everyone seems to like my old stuff better. I've interacted with 17 people today, and not one of them recognized me as the Buddha. I'll be fine in a minute. I was half a country away when my papa died, unable to get home. As he was conveyed to his resting place, I left my post and sat alone in the barracks, trying to feel the weight of 1/6 of a coffin. I shared a Dr. Pepper with my granny on her 84th birthday, perched on the edge of her hospital bed. When she died early that evening, I was outside smoking. The night before we buried my dad, I flicked lint from his collar as he lay in his casket and told him some things I should have told him sooner. I tried to talk to my mom at the very end, as she was borne away on snow-white wings, but found myself singing an Appalachian spiritual because when I forget how to talk, I sing. And when I forget how to sing, I mumble, "I'll be fine in a minute, fine in a minute."